Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Champions of Krynn. So in our first episode, we basically went over the character creation and what's different about this game as compared to the Forgotten Realms ones. So let's go ahead and start adding our characters to the party. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our usual rogues gallery. Ald is a Knight of the Crown. He starts with equipment, which is unlike most everyone else. At least I believe it's unlike most everyone else. And I believe, consequently, he also doesn't get much money because of that. Crow is a Cleric Ranger, Qualinesti Elf, of course. And I chose that rather than going with a single-class character, just for the extra healing oomph that it gives me, especially in the early game. Let's see. Islandwy is a Cleric Fighter Red Mage, Syrian Cleric. Qualinesti Elf, of course. And one thing that you do have to keep in mind is that as elves, if they are killed, you cannot resurrect them. Or raise them. I'm not sure which one it is. So it's something to definitely keep in mind if you're going to go this route. Of course, I have Universal Game Editor, and I'm just going to go and edit them back to life if they actually get killed, and I can't resurrect them. So, Min this time is a Mishakal Cleric White Mage. Qualinesti Elf, of course. And Ellie is a straight single-classed White Mage, so that I get the spells extra fast. And Human, of course. And Moonshadow is a Majir Cleric Thief, Kender. So I've got a lot of clerics in this group. So let's go ahead and begin adventuring. Oh, and of course the usual copy protection. What's it? Journal entry 39. Lists. At the end of the last home in Solace, a brave band gathers in preparation for a grim journey. The lands reconquered from the dragon armies are to be scoured for the last vestiges of evil. So basically this game takes place pretty much right after the Chronicles trilogy. And as you can see, here's the end of the last home after the tree has fallen down in glorious EGA graphics. Joining you on the trip is an older Knight of the Rose. He is introduced as Sir Carl Gardson. His mission is to evaluate the outposts for the Council of Knights. And we get our overland map here. This is Ancelon. You can see the these are the major locations. One thing that I will point out is that if you read the beginning of the Adventurers Journal, which I suppose is probably a good thing to do in all the games, not like I ever really do it, it's basically a letter from a knight to the Circle of Knights talking about how his outpost commander has been acting very strangely. It also gives you a brief overview of the Chronicles if you are not familiar with the Chronicles. Once the company is organized, you begin the journey to the outpost. The party travels through Solamnia and arrives near Throttle. You are escorted to see the Commandant. Sir Carl greets you at the office. The Commandant and I are discussing some important issues. Your first mission is to patrol Throttle and report any suspicious activities immediately. Sir Carl continues, and you recorded in Journal Entry 51. Our first journal entry right off the bat.
The worst monsters our scouts have reported anywhere in the area are hobgoblins. Draconians and evil dragons have long since abandoned this area to our forces. Still, be a little wary on your way to Throttle. Also, be sure to report back here immediately if anything unusual or dangerous occurs. This outpost depends on information brought back by patrols such as yours. Good luck and may Paladine watch over you. Also, buy and ready equipment from the armory. Memorize spells before going out. It's nice that they tell you about that. Okay, so here is the outpost menu. You'll see this, it's basically the same as the little town menus that you saw in Curse of the Azure Bonds, for example. You've got an inn, training hall, you can visit the Commandant Armory. Next, that's a vault. Yay, there's a vault in this game. I believe this game came out at roughly the same time as Secret of the Silver Blades, so there's a lot of similarity in the engine. Temple, bar, and previous. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the armory. Let's pool. He starts with stuff, so, oh, and of course now I'm hitting G for gear. Great. Curse you, Buck Rogers. Start with plate mail, shield, and longsword. Woohoo! Okay, so he's a cleric ranger. You can buy a diamond. Wow. Okay, the best armor you can get is ring mail. Wow, that kind of sucks. Let's go ahead and buy the ring mail, shield, long sword. Islandwy is a cleric fighter red mage, so let's go ahead and buy ring mail, shield, long sword. Min is a cleric white mage, so let's go ahead and buy ring mail, shield, and mace. And Ellie is just a white mage, so let's go ahead and just buy a quarterstaff. And Moonshadow is of course a cleric thief who happens to be a kender, so we will buy a hoopak, leather armor. And we'll get some ranged weapons in a moment. Okay, so she already has, the hoopak is close combat and ranged weapons, so you don't need to buy additional ranged equipment for a kender if you don't want to. I mean, obviously you can get longbows or something like that. Incidentally, kender can always use a hoopak, regardless of their class, which is handy. So let's buy darts until it says I'm overloaded. There we go. How much money do I have? 45 steel. Alright, that'll be enough for now. Okay, so she's a cleric white mage, so I should be able to buy a staff sling. And go ahead and buy a short bow, and a short bow. Now, how much money do I have? Oh boy, not much. Okay, 20 arrows. Okay, so unfortunately I am limited to 40 arrows for my archers. Oops, let's go ahead and... No. Ready then.
Okay, so let me double check to make sure that she can actually equip it. Yes, she can. Okay, good. And okay, now we're down to 2 steel. Which, let me just point out that steel is the most pointless metal to use for coinage. I vaguely recall it being mentioned somewhere that the reason steel was used as coinage was because it was so rare on Krynn, or iron was so rare on Krynn. But if you really think about it, considering how useful steel is for so many things, using it as money is pointless. I mean, one of the reasons you use silver and gold for money is because it's useless in a non-modern society, at least, for pretty much everything else except for ornamentation. And it's kind of rare. But even then, I mean, silver has always been the money of, or the metal of money usage anyway. But so yeah, I don't know why they use steel. I know that they wanted to make it different and everything like that, different from standard AD&D, but okay, so let's go to the bar first. What's your pleasure? Let's relax. You hear Tavern Tale 40. Yes, this game has Tavern Tales. Okay, Tavern Tale 40. Don't drink the beer. The bartender washes his feet in it. That's really helpful. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Tavern Tale 23. Been too quiet for too long. Something's got to happen soon. Yes, I'm sure something will happen soon. And Tavern Tale 17. A young woman has her eye on Sir Carl. It's making him uncomfortable. Really? Interesting. 34. Nothing's been seen in Throttle for months. The place is boring. Oh, that'll be a nice, easy mission then, I'm sure. Okay, I think I've exhausted all of the Tavern Tales that I can read. So let's go ahead and leave, and let's go to the inn, since we have to memorize spells. Okay, and here's our camping icon, our camping picture. I should look to see if those stars actually match the stars in the Krynnish sky. Probably not, though. Okay, he cannot memorize any spells yet. Okay, special spells, detect magic, which is always handy. Let's get a bless, 2 cure light wounds. And Island Wee. Whew, look at all those spells. Oh, one other thing to point out, we've got the moons, Solinari, Lunatari, and Nuatari, I think, something like I can't remember the exact names. I could look it up in the book, but I'm lazy. And they do influence. Okay, I'll look it up in the book since I have to look this up anyway. Only once you get above a certain level does some of the effects happen. But basically, when you have a full moon, you get +2 additional spells. So if you're going to be memorizing spells, try to always match up the full moon, so you get the bonus spells. Because you'll keep them even after the it goes to a new moon or something like that. But only if you haven't cast them. Once you cast them, and if it's not a full moon, then you can't memorize them again. But if it's a waxing moon, then you get +1 spell. You gain a +1 bonus to saving throws when it's a full moon, and you have a -1 penalty to saving throws when it's a new moon. And your effective level is -1 on a new moon, and +1 on a full moon, but only if you're 6th level or higher and have an intelligence of 15 or greater. So, yeah. So avoid attacking black mages when it's when Nuatari's full, and do your best to attack
when you have Solinari or Lunatari is full. Anyway, let's go ahead and get our special spell, Burning Hands. That's actually handy as a mage too. Okay, let's see. So I guess we'll go with Bless and 2 Cure Light Wounds. And oh, I can get second level spells as well. Yeah, let's get Protection from Evil. And Sleep and Magic Missile. And bonus spells of Magic Missile and Sleep. And I can get 3 second level priest spells. So let's go with Resist Fire, 2 Hold Persons. Okay. That's a lot of spells for starting out in the game. Okay, so Almandretta gets Remove Curse, Bless, and Charm Person. That's pretty cool. Bless, Cure Light Wounds, and yeah, let's get lots of Cure Light Wounds. And then, of course, as a mage, we get, let's go with Enlarge, Magic Missile, and 2 Sleeps. Okay, Ellie, Magic Missile, Sleep. And Moonshadow gets Silence 15-foot radius, Bless, Cure Light Wounds, and Detect Magic. Okay. Let's go ahead and rest and get all of our spells. Woohoo! And we wait for the spells to be memorized. Okay. And if we display, shows no spell effects. Let's go ahead and save our game right off the bat. And make sure that level is set to veteran. Speed. Let's make it a smidgen faster. Oh yeah, it's my icons. Yep. Yep, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and leave. You're near an outpost. You enter. Nope. Okay, so this up here is Throttle. There is actually a map at the very beginning of the game, the Adventurer's Manual, and it'll point out that, you know, that's Throttle, that's Sanction, that's Krynn, that's Naraka, that's Jellic, and that is Gargath. And I believe that's another outpost. And I believe that's another outpost as well. So, let's go ahead and actually let's end the video here. We've gotten pretty far in the in this second episode, all of reading some Tavern Tales, a journal entry, and resting. Yeah. Oh, and we bought equipment, so that's always handy. So let's end the video here, and we'll pick it up in the next episode as we go to Throttle.